Cutie Crafty.
Hello and welcome back to Cutie Crafty. Welcome back to yet another crafty arty video. This week I am trying something a bit different. After the gargantuan effort of making the sashiko last video, I'm going to just do something simple and a little bit more laid back. But I'm still going to try something new. So I've seen this all over the internet, I've seen it all over YouTube, and I've seen it everywhere. And it is this. Hidden inside this lovely bubble wrapped tube is some Black 3.0. You guys have probably seen all of this nonsense going on between the artist Stuart Semple and the artist Anish Kapoor about the use of Vanta Black and whether or not Anish Kapoor was doing a good thing or a bad thing by withholding other people from using Vanta Black. So Stuart Semple created Black 2.0 and Black 3.0. This is Black 3.0, the most recent iteration of it, and apparently it is the blackest black you can get in paint. Alongside that, on the Stuart Semple's Culture Hustle website, there was also a couple of other things. So we've got the Pinkest Pink. It is surprisingly pink. This is a powder, so I can't really use it unless I'm thinking of maybe using it with some egg tempera in the future. And also I've got some of this. Now, earlier in the 20th century, there was a guy called Yves Klein, and he came up with International Klein Blue, which is IKB, and we've got here Stuart Semple's incredibly Kleinish blue. So it's almost the same, but not quite. And again, it's kind of taking the mickey out of Calvin Klein and the design and things. Now, the blue is very, very unique to Yves Klein, and he did loads of paintings with just blue on the canvas, but he also used them to paint women and then roll them across a huge canvas in front of an audience. If you want to go and look on that, feel free. I'm not going to show it on here because it contains women with not very many clothes on, and yeah, that would get me having a few warning notifications from YouTube, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want to look it up in your own time, feel free. Some of the art he created was absolutely amazing and very, very, very unique. He was taking questions about uniqueness and about the use of copyright, the use of commercialised products. So is art commercialised? What is it about colours that makes us look at them in particular? All kinds of questions like that. So it's worth looking him up. But yeah, Yves Klein, and this is probably a nicky take of his Yves Klein blue. So inside we've got a little absolutely nothing bottle. I don't know why we've got absolutely nothing. And we've got a pot of his Yves Klein blue. Now I've had these for quite a few months, so they might have settled in their pots. So I'm going to give them a good shake before I use them. And the funny thing is, on each of these items, there are little hints about the humour that Stuart Semple and his crew create. So we've got here, don't eat it, drink it, paint it on your skin, or try to tattoo with it. Do keep an eye on kids using it because it gets onto your sofa. It's going to be a pig to get out. And it smells like disco, apparently, as you can see there. Yep. On the Pinkest Pink, this is not for Bean Boy. Now, Bean Boy is kind of a cheeky nickname he's giving to Anish Kapoor. You can see just there. Because Anish Kapoor created this great big metal bean in Chicago, I believe, and to take the mickey out of him, Stuart Semple arranged for a load of artists to get some of his Pinkest Pink, go to the bean and kiss it. I'm not telling you what that's a euphemism for. You can work it out for yourself. It was a very big bit of culture jamming or a flash mob type thing, and it made the point. And finally, we have our Black 3.0. This one has these three straps on the back, but nothing else other than just Black 3.0. So there you go. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the absolutely nothing bottle, but I quite like that. And on here it says, super flat, super matte, ultra pigmented acrylic paint, and share with the world. Anyway, give it a good old shake. Now for the first bit, I'm going to do some experimentation. I'm going to do some mark making, and that's about it. Obviously it's not matte because it's still liquid, but we'll see how matte it gets after it dries. And as for the blue, I'm just going to get that out of the pot as well, and let's see how blue the bluest blue can get. And it's not called the bluest blue, but that's what I'm going to call it because it's come from the same guy. If you don't know about the grand feud between Stuart Semple and Anish Kapoor, look it up. It is hilarious. Anyway, and now we're going to have a little tiny tab of the Klein blue. Ooh, that is a lovely colour. It's very liquid, but I think we can live with that. Before I start, I'm going to cut a little tab off this paper so that I can use this as a compare and contrast. I'm also going to get some black ordinary acrylic paint so I can see the difference. I'm going to use this brush as the practice. I'm going to just try a little bit of this Klein blue. That is actually a really gorgeous blue. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to go from one end to the other. So this end is going to be nice and thick. And the end is going to be relatively dry to see how it spreads. Now, this is the black 3.0 and this is the ordinary black. So I'm going to put the black 3.0 on here. It's quite funny because they do say that an awful lot of the blacks that are sold as acrylic black or watercolour blacks are basically very, very dark blue rather than actual black, whereas this is definitely black. You can see how thick it is just there. I'm going to add a little bit more so it's nice and opaque. That is really quite something. Let me know, guys, have you had a go with this kind of medium before? Have you tried using these paints? Have you worked with any of the other Culture Hustle products or Stuart Semple products? Because it keeps on coming out with colour ranges and things like that. I'm very tempted to go and buy one of the palettes he's got. If you've used it before, or if you've tried to use it, or if you wanted to use it, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to see what kind of things you've created with it. And also, whilst you're there doing a comment, remember to like and subscribe. I'm afraid we have to ask this every single time. And ring that little notification bell so that you can get notification of all our new videos and you won't lose us on the internet. Ooh, I just had a quick glance at the blue. It's a very beautiful matte finish. It's gorgeous. It's almost like a chalky finish, like a powdery blue, but very, very deep, rich colour. That is lovely. And then finally, the spread on this black isn't all that good, but that's fine. This is ordinary watercolour paper, by the way, so it's a little bit thicker than ordinary paper, but it takes up the colour really quite well. There we go. So that's the Blackest Black, and I can tell you it is very black. Finally, the regular black acrylic. Let's see how this works. I can already see that there's a lot more grey in this black. We are literally having a video of watching paint dry. How exciting. Just going to leave that to dry for a little while. On this little piece of paper, on one end I'm going to do some regular black, and on the other end I'm going to do some black 3.0, just so we can do a compare and contrasty type thing. This is the regular. I can already see the black 3.0 is drying again very, very matte, which is a beautiful surface texture. You can't quite see on the camera exactly how it is for real life exposure to it. What I'm seeing is slightly different to what you guys are going to be seeing. It is beautiful though. Black can be a very, very beautiful colour. What I'm going to do after this is dried, I'm going to have a go at making one of my regular circle patterns and see what I can do with that, just using these two colours. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, and so we are back, and the difference is remarkable. You can see the black 3.0 is very matte, it's very deep, whereas this is much more grey. But we've got our black 3.0 and the regular De La Rowney graduate acrylic black paint, as you can see there, and you can see how much that contrasts. I mean, that looks black to me, but against that it looks like charcoal or even just grey, and that you can see how much deeper that black is. If I painted a few more layers of this and allowed it to dry, I think that this would be almost perfectly camouflaged against the back. You wouldn't really be able to see it. So if I lie that on there, you can see the depth is almost complete. Very interesting product indeed. So yeah, you can see the contrast there is very different. So I'm going to have a go at doing a pattern. And I'm going to do a picture with black 3.0 and the Easy Klein blue. This is ordinary cartridge paper, and I've done my usual thing of doing a series of concentric circles, but I'm going to do the same as I normally do, just do a layer of patterns radiating from the centre. On this paper, this was on watercolour paper, which you can see is slightly more yellow, but also it's very much more absorbent. So I'm going to see if having a less absorbent cartridge paper will make a difference to the colours and the spread of the paint. So I'm going to do a little bit of tipping out at a time onto the palette because I don't want to waste it, because this stuff is not cheap. It's not a huge bowl, as you can see. So I'll put the prices up on the screen now. You're paying for the product and you can definitely see the difference of this black versus the ordinary black. So I'm going to start with shaking it up. What did you think when you saw the black 3.0 compared to the regular? Were you surprised at how much darker it was? I was expecting it to be darker, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite that dark. What do you think? Do you think it's gimmicky? Let me know in the comments down below, and tell me if you would like to have a go with these paints yourself, or if you'd like to see some finished artworks with these. And if anybody's wondering, I am definitely not associated with Anish Kapoor. The fact that I even have to say that is just hilarious to me. Right, so I'm going to start with the black. The one thing I've found when I'm doing this is because the cartridge paper is so white and the black is so black and it's lit by these spotlights, it's very glaring, a bit disconcerting and not very comfortable. It's just the extreme contrast of black and white. I'm going to leave this to dry and come back to it, maybe give my eyes a bit of rest from the very stark black and white, see how we do with the blue tomorrow. Okay, so we are done. This has been a great deal of fun. I've really enjoyed doing it. I'm going to take a couple of pictures and put them on the screen now. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I was thinking of doing a second image of something a bit more figurative or like a scene or something like that. For the life of me, I couldn't think what I wanted to do. Any ideas, any questions, any queries, any comments, please let me know in the comments down below, just there. Remember to like and subscribe and click that little notification bell so you can see what happens in the next few weeks. I'm going to come back to this in a few weeks' time, maybe do something a little bit more representative or maybe using it for some other crafting or arting projects. And as always, thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. See you again. Bye bye.